Eli שלא ייגמר לעולם החול והים רשרוש של המים ברק השמיים תפילת האדם החול והים רשרוש של המים ברק השמיים תפילת האדם.
349 at the bottom, 349.
O God, my God, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So we've arrived at Lech Lecha, meeting Abraham, Avram, who sees the world as if it's on fire. That's what the Midrash tells us. When Avram looks at the world, it's like a fortress doleket, ablaze. And that's a holy thing, to see the world on fire. But it's not always easy. And so tonight is about acknowledging fires of the past, fires of the present, as we think about the 81st anniversary of Kristallnacht. I always associate that picture of a synagogue on fire, and of course the broken glass, a pogrom carried out throughout Germany from November 9th through November 10th, 1938. And we're so honored to have Ilse Kagan here to help us remember. We are thinking as well this week of the 24th anniversary of the assassination of Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, November 4th, 1995. A fire from Yigal Amir's gun that changed the course of history. So, Lech Lecha, the parsha that brings us Avraham, the seer of fire, considering the fires of anti-Semitism that rage still ever brighter, violence within the Jewish world, Jew to Jew. But this is an incredible parsha, a great bat mitzvah Torah portion, the best, in which Avram is told, Ve'escha lagoy gadol, God says, I'm going to make you a great nation. Va'varechecha, I'm going to bless you. Va'agad la shmecha, I'm going to make your name great, and you will be a blessing. Ve'yeh bracha. So we balance this Shabbat, the poignancy and pain of memory, and also this call to be a blessing. What does it mean to be a blessing? Yes, it is to see painful fires, but the Midrash has this beautiful image of Avram walking, seeing the world ablaze, and asking the question, Olam hazeh bli manhig? Is it possible that these fires are raging and there's no one who owns the castle? There's no one in charge? And then the Midrash has this image of God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, peeping out through the fortress ablaze, saying, Anihu Ba'al Habirah. I'm the master here. So tonight is about seeking God's presence amidst this blazing world, ablaze with pain and ablaze with beauty, and also thinking about how we can be the Ba'alei Habirah, the masters of this house, and kindle a fire of inspiration inside. And so, to kindle fires of beauty and community and tradition and joy and hope, it is so exciting to call up the Coopers in honor of Mali's bat mitzvah tomorrow. So come on up, y'all, ye kindlers of many fires, good ones.
Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chad likner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We continue with L'chadoti on page 20.
And just as we are beginning to sing this melody, a quick note on some of the melodies that we're going to hear tonight in honor of Kristallnacht, to remember some of the melodies that we've chosen tonight are from the period of time in Germany that by composers that were heard in the synagogues during the time. So Lewandowski, Zolzer, some of the melodies are going to be interspersed through the service tonight, and this is one of them for the L'chadodi. L'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor bedibur echad ishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad leshem ultiferet velitila l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor habracha merosh mikeldem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri,
Verse 5.
hitoreri, kiva orech kumi ori, ori, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alaych nigla, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. With verse 9, we greet the Sabbath bride. If it is your custom, I invite you to rise and face the entrance as we greet Shabbat. Verse 9. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha ufzola toch emunei am segula boi chala, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
22, Tzadik Katamar. We're in that indented paragraph at the bottom. The righteous is going to flourish like a date palm.
Tzadik Katamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yizgesh olim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrihu od yenuvun beseva deshenim vera'ananim iyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri velo avlata bo. Before we turn the page, I want to before we turn the page, this the psalm that we just sang, the Psalm 92, is a psalm that it's specifically, explicitly connected to Shabbat. It's part of the liturgy specifically on Shabbat. I just want to ask you to look at the fifth line, because there's something here that's so connected to this night of Crystal Nacht and the Kinder Transport. The fifth line, it says, Lahagid baboker chastecha. The fifth line, you can just read the transliteration. I'm going to translate that baboker, in the morning, it's easy for us, it's natural for us to sing out about God's chesed. Why is that? Why does the psalmist say that? Because the psalmist is imagining morning where the sun is shining, we wake up, it's amazing, it's so easy to connect to that feeling of what a blessing it is to wake up, to be alive, and maybe actually I can do something. Maybe I can do something productive and constructive with this day.
We know that feeling very often in the morning. And then the next line, ve'emunatcha balelot. What's the difference often in the way we feel in the morning when it's sunny and beautiful versus at night, dark and cold? The feelings we have at night and dark and cold are often feelings of insecurity, vulnerability, fear. What's going to happen during the course of this darkness? And all the more so, many, many, many generations ago when they didn't have the comforts that we have. And what is it that's going to get us through those dark nights? Emunatcha, something about our faith, something about our sense of connection to God, to other, to our inner selves, our souls, a faith, a hope, an optimism that we can get through this hard time and arrive at the morning, the brightness, the beauty of the morning. And Ilse, who will speak really to this in her own way in a little while, I think these two lines, these 5 words of the psalmist, point to an essential quality of this night. Okay,
And our tradition tells us that it's morning when you can see your brother or sister's face, when you can see So we're going to take an opportunity it's not morning yet, but we're going to get to greet each other, look each other in the punams and say Shabbat Shalom. So find someone, maybe you know, someone you don't know, a greeting, a hello.
Shabbat Shalom to all those live streamers.
All those ushers out there. Shalom Alechem 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boahem l'shalom malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shalom aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, מלאכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש הקדוש ברוך הוא.
I think it's perfect that as we were singing this welcoming song, we had one of the youngest members of our community just enter. Who's a little one who was just named here, I think about a Shabbat ago. Okay, so let us rise now for the Baruch Hu. We're on page 28.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Top of 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. 32.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha hafta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeh yomam v'layla yomam v'layla ve'ahavatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vahed.
You may be seated. 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בעם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Michamocha, page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי, ענו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאי לי, יאי לי, 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 יאי לי, 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 יאי לי, 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 יאי לי, 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 לי. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
So I'm just back from, I was away two Shabbats in Jerusalem. I'm visiting our son. Lots of experiences to share, but just very briefly, I want to acknowledge that I was able to have the honor of participating with Women of the Wall. It was Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan, and so for now, some 2 decades, these women have been going just to try to pray audibly, and maybe even sometimes with the Sefer Torah to bring in the new month on the main plaza of the Kotel. So it was very hard to get in. Tons and tons of Orthodox people were called in by their rabbis to make it very difficult to enter. So it was like a 45-minute line, and the police told us we were making a big balagan. We were in their way. And there was an attempt to bring a Torah, but that didn't work. But it was incredibly powerful to stand there with a crowd. It was many Israeli women, some dressed more traditionally, some with kippot, some with tefillin, and then also some American friends there. And a number of, they seemed like they were like 14-year-old girls were sort of commissioned to stand in between us. And then when it got to the point, we didn't have a Torah scroll, but there was a klaf, just a piece of parchment with the Rosh Chodesh reading that was raised up, and then all the girls got up and started to yell at us. But we persevered. And it was actually just an incredibly beautiful, heartening moment. And it just made me feel proud to be able to catch Anat Hoffman's eye and to know that she had been here and received such hospitality here and warmth, and to feel the tmicha, the support that we offer to those seeking to do healing and change and growth in Israel. I used to feel that as an American Jew, maybe it was I should just be quiet, that was, wasn't, who am I to say, but I really felt in that moment how strong and supportive and impactful our presence can be. And she gave me a big hug. And she said, "You came to get the Israeli haircut, right?" And I said, "Yes." Okay, so we're thinking about those circles of protection that we offer each other across oceans and just right next to each other here in the pew. We're at Hashkivenu 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim.
The Shamron, page 45.
Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam Beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz Uvayom Hashvi Shabbat Vayinafash Uvayom Hashvi Shabbat Vayinafash.
The Amidah begins on page 46. Please rise if you are able.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah
האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש, האל הקדוש.
We take a few moments for our own personal private prayer, standing or seated, whatever is your custom, and we'll come together in a few moments on page 62.
Page 341. Lechi lach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Lechi
lech, and I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechi lach, to the place that I will show you. Lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lechi lach. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach.
We turn now to our Misha Berach prayer. It's on page 253. And as we pass through the aisles, feel free to mention the name of anyone in need of any form of healing.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So, as I'm guessing, hoping we know, this Shabbat is an anniversary of a day and a week, a day of Kristallnacht. Kristallnacht, which we'll say something about, is what triggered the Kindertransport. It was the tragedy, the horrible experience on November 9th and 10th, 1938, in Germany and Austria. We know that there are an ever-dwindling number of beautiful, amazing, heroic people who are still around to share their story. Their stories, of course, are from witnessing the most horrific of the Holocaust events and atrocities, to stories of salvation and being somehow a blessedly lucky soul who just was ever so close to the horror but was freed. Tonight we're going to get to hear from Ilse Kagan, a member of Temple Beth-El for over 50 years, with her and her children, her family. And in a couple moments I'll ask you, Ilse, to come up. Before we do, I just want to frame this moment a little more specifically. As I said, and I think we know, this is the anniversary from 1938 of Kristallnacht, in which the Nazis in Germany and Austria torched synagogues, vandalized Jewish homes and schools and businesses, killed over 100 Jews. Kristallnacht means the night of broken glass. Some 30,000 Jewish men were arrested and sent to concentration camps following Kristallnacht. And Kristallnacht was, in a way, sort of a culmination, a conclusion, and also a beginning, but a conclusion of these repressive policies that Hitler and the Nazis had begun implementing in 1933. Just a little bit more historical context that Ilse will share, but through her own life story, personal story. November 9th, 10th, as I said, is Kristallnacht 5 days later. 5 days after the Night of Broken Glass, a delegation of British and Jewish and Quaker leaders appealed in person to Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain of Great Britain, United Kingdom. And among other measures, they requested that the British government permit the temporary admission of unaccompanied Jewish children without their parents. That was November 15th. On November 21st, Home Secretary Samuel Hore met a delegation of Jewish and non-Jewish groups working on behalf of these refugees. That was November 21st, I said. November 25th, British citizens heard an appeal for foster homes on the BBC Home Service Radio from Viscount Samuel, and soon there were hundreds and hundreds of offers and volunteers allowing and inviting and encouraging Jews from Germany and other places to send their children on the 2nd of December. So we've gone from the 10th of November to the 2nd of December, 3 weeks after Kristallnacht. The first party of nearly 200 children arrived in Harwich, England. And as I said, there were Jewish children from Germany, from Austria, and specifically tonight we're going to hear about one Jewish child from the city of Danzig. That's our dear Ilse Kagan. Ilse, if I could ask you to come up and share your story with us, it will be a privilege and an honor for us to hear your story. Ilse has spoken dozens and dozens of times, different places in Great Neck and around the state and states. Ilse, yeah.
Then you have to go down. It's taking the long way. We'll get one of those.
I can never hear you with this thing.
Yeah, this
I
one's
wondered
better.
if that's better.
This one's better. Definitely better.
Let me see if I can see anything. No, I can't. Okay,
Sound good?
It does? Anyhow, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It seems really unreal that today I'm standing here in 2019 and talk about my personal experiences as a witness to Kristallnacht, the Kindertransport, and some events that happened later. Actually, I was never a German citizen. I was a Danziger, born in the free city of Danzig, and we had our own Kristallnacht the day after, on November 10th. And there was a slight but significant difference. But first, let me quickly explain the special situation of the Free State of Danzig, since it came into existence in 1919, after World War I, a brainchild of the League of Nations, the forerunner of our United Nations. It was to give Poland an outlet to the sea. I know we had our own Senate, and I remember that the Senate had Jewish members. They reported directly to the League. Danzig had been the capital of West Prussia before that, and the Jewish population brought with it its German culture. The Free State existed for 20 years, until Hitler finally, officially, took over when he invaded Poland via Danzig on September 1st, 1939. The League of Nations supposedly was our protector, but it grew weaker as the Nazis became stronger. Because of the League, Germany's laws were not always applicable to Danzig. For instance, we were temporarily, that is to say until November 21st, 1938, after Kristallnacht, spared parts of the Nuremberg laws, which meant we didn't have to assume the name of Sarah or Israel, nor did we have to have the letter J stamped into our passports. We still kept our own currency, the gulden, and our own stamps. That did not stop Hitler from sending the Nazi leaders, the Gauleiters they were called, and many followers into Danzig with one order: not to kill every Jew, but to get rid of every Jew. So by the time that he would annex the city, it would be Judenfrei. To force the Jews to leave, they were deprived of their jobs, the doctors were not allowed to practice, and the children were dismissed from the Danziger schools, like my sister Eva, once a distinguished member of this congregation, who left America in the summer of 1938. My father remained the only Jew still employed by the city of Danzig. That fact saved him when he applied to the British consulate for a visitor's visa in the summer of 1939 to visit his children there, and I'll tell you how he got there. He could prove that he was still employed and eager to fulfill his job in Danzig. As luck would have it, their visa was up 2 days after Chamberlain declared war, and my parents would never return. My father's position could also only have happened in Danzig. Instead of dismissing him like all other civil servants in 1934, the Free City of Danzig appointed my father the head and to form a new Jewish school. The city found him an adequate school building, textbooks, supplies, and mostly, I don't think there were any non-Jewish teachers, though I'm not sure, I can't remember. The school grew by leaps and bounds, picking up any Jewish child in whatever educational background or age. I was in its first class. There was, however, a private Jewish high school in Danzig in which my two elder sisters moved after their dismissal. My father rushed our occasion due to our unstable political situation, and with special tutoring, my class managed to let us skip a grade and move class over to the high school in 1937. We were taught Hebrew and Polish in my father's school and English in high school in an attempt to prepare us for the uncertain future. I thought that this introduction would make it easier to understanding our Kristallnacht. You know that a young Polish boy, Herschel Greenspan, living in Paris, heard that his parents had been abducted in Germany and forcibly returned to Poland. He never heard from them, became distraught, and assassinated a young German diplomat by the name von Rath in Paris. It did not need any provocation for the Nazis to let out their hatred of the Jewish population. You know what happened: the burning of 260 synagogues, the arbitrary arrest of 30,000 Jewish males, and 7,500 Jewish-owned stores set on fire and looted. News spread fast. When Danzig became aware of what was happening across the border, the Jewish population tried to prepare for the worst. They recruited members of the congregation, especially those who had fought in Germany in World War I, my uncle included, to form a security guard to protect the very beautiful temple located in the heart of the city. It worked. But there was no protection for the other two synagogues in the suburbs of Danzig. They were burnt down. What followed made our great synagogue sadly unique. It was sold to the government of Danzig with a stipulation that any money received would be used to hasten the exodus of the remaining Jews. There was no hope for the congregation to continue to exist, as wealthy families had found refuge somewhere in the world, and only those who truly loved their homeland, like my parents, the aged and the needy influx of Polish refugees, would remain. A meeting was called for all members of the temple to gather in the synagogue and vote on the resolution to disband. It was a solemn occasion. I was there and felt the tragedy of the moment. My mother was the most hurt. Her family had come to Danzig when the gates opened and the Jewish traders in the late 1770s were allowed in. And every Sunday in the month, my mother and her 3 children visited the ancestors' graves. When I visit Gdansk, as Danzig is now called, the cemetery was still there, even though a 2 had been sold. But the gravestones had all disappeared. The synagogue, on the other hand, was soon dismantled, with a big sign saying, "Komm lieber Mai und mache von Juden uns jetzt frei." Come, dear month of May, and free us from all the Jews. One Danziger, an ardent Zionist by the name of Seeger, had the brilliant idea to ship all the ceremonial objects and the treasures from the Lester Giljinsky Museum, which had been donated to the temple, to the Union Theological Seminary in New York. They were to hold the collection for 15 years, and if there still was no longer a Danzig Jewish community, it was theirs to keep. My uncle, a furniture manufacturer, built 10 crates to transport these treasures of the temple to America, to the seminary. I don't believe the seminary was told what was coming to them. They stuck all those wonderful items into the basement, temporarily, in quotes. In the meantime, they had a fire where many items were destroyed. I know there were a lot of Torah scrolls. They did not look at the treasures for another 40 years. When the family did take a look with the Jewish Museum together, They realized that would need a lot of work after 40 years, but it would be worthwhile to restore the objects for wider display. In 1980, the museum opened the exhibit. It was called 1939, Treasures of a Destroyed Community. It traveled all over America and all over the world. I hope that some of you saw it at the Jewish Museum in New York. The documentary as part of the exhibit I still have. Nor were we spared the breaking of glass windows of Jewish businesses. My family was sitting at a dinner table when a telephone rang. It was the police. I was scared. They asked that my mother should immediately come down to her store. They had been breaking the glass windows and were in process of looting. Knowing what had happened the night before in Germany, you were not sure what awaited them. Was it really the police, or was it just a trap? My parents had no choice but to do what the police suggested. I had been getting ready for bed, but a Polish student who lived there let me stay up at least for a while. And I can still feel her arms around me as I sat on her lap, trembling. My parents did come home at night, but I was asleep by then. They were physically unharmed. Only in Danzig would the police be that helpful. My parents never told me what transpired at the store. They repaired the damage, though, for the time being, but sold the store under duress. And while later, but not before, a Nazi stopped before the newly installed window and was about to paint the word Jude on it. My mother came out of the store, and as she demonstrated in the documentary, she spit into her hand, wiped the paint away, and as soon as it was put there, but just in time, as the painter got angrier and angrier, my father happened to appear on the scene and took his fist and hit the man under the chin. The Nazi spilled the paint all over him. He and the crowd that had gathered, unbelievably, moved away. My parents, again, remained unhurt. This was the difference between Germany and Danzig. My father still had his job and still believed that he would be safe forever. But my mother lost her store, which had been a small part of her father's department store in Danzig, where the customers had known her from childhood. She'd lost her temple where she and Eva, her eldest daughter, had been confirmed. Her cousin, a young bachelor in his 30s, mysteriously disappeared and was never heard of again. And we lost our apartment. A Nazi, high-ranking Nazi, came to see us and just wanted it, and we had to go. And then came the painful separation from her other two children, us. We were on their way in the Kindertransport in England. They had just opened the shores. There's less than a week, I want you to know, after Kristallnacht. The brutality of Kristallnacht in Germany enraged the world, but only England took immediate action. It called Parliament into session to discuss what they could do to help the Jewish people. The Hansard of November 21st, 1938, has a record of that debate. The Hansard is the proceedings. It makes you feel good to read it. Jews and non-Jews, names like Sir Samuel Hoare, Noel Baker, Lohan Warburg, Elaine Lasky, and the Quaker leader, Bertha Bracey, were deeply involved in this mission. They extolled the Jewish people for the contributions they had made to society over the years, and called upon their moral obligation to help. They passed a law permitting the Home Office to issue an additional 10,000 visas outside the regular quota to allow children unaccompanied by parents to enter Britain for the duration of the upheaval until they would be able to return to their parents in peace. By December 2nd, 1938, already 81 years ago, the first transport of Jewish children arrived in England. These children were from a Berlin orphanage, which had been burnt down during Kristallnacht. My father negotiated to have at least 20 children from Danzig included in the transport. He didn't actually think of his own children. He meant the visa should go to children of refugees who had crossed the border from Poland into Danzig. They were needy, were largely relying on the welfare of the Jewish community, which no longer had the means to sustain them. I think they were pupils in his school. It was my mother again who spoke up and fought hard to convince my father that our lives were also at stake, and he had better leave 2 spaces for my sister and me. Sadly, my mother also tried to persuade my cousins in East Prussia to come down to Danzig and join the transport. Their mother could not separate himself from her children. They wouldn't come, and they all perished, together with at least 7 others of my father's family. But it was incredible how well the leaders of the German Jewish communities organized the distribution of the visas, and even more incredible how England, in a matter of a few days, found places for the children as they arrived in Harwich. Because by the time the war broke out, practically all the visas had been assigned, and 10,000 children from Germany, Austria, and Czechoslovakia and Danzig had been rescued. One of the leaders, Gertrud Weissmuller-Miller, a Dutch Aryan banker's wife, was asked to rush over to Vienna from Amsterdam to meet with Adolf Eichmann to help to obtain permission for her to take 600 Austrian children to England via Holland. He granted her request, but not before she had to endure humiliating tests and a short prison sentence before they were convinced that she was not Jewish. He gave her just 3 days to organize the 600 children. She accomplished that, and many other similar feats, only a couple of weeks after the Home Office's historical action. All members of the newly formed committees worked feverishly for us, Quakers, Jews, Christians alike, and achieved the impossible. Members of the Kindertransport were classified as survivors, together with our fellow Jews who faced purposeful dehumanization, brutality, and murder. In some cases, the term is fit, for every child was torn away from his parents and has her own story to tell. Some young men joined the Army Pioneer Corps, and some even died on the battlefield. Over 1,000 kinder over the age of 16 were so foolishly interned on the Isle of Man or sent to Australia or Canada, where they were treated like prisoners of war. Other kinder felt very lost for years with no one there to enforce their vague memories of their past. Some young girls, instead of being sent to school, were used or maltreated as domestic servants. As far as I'm concerned, the majority of the Kindertransport fared quite well, especially the ones that came to America, and some exceptionally well, winning coveted prizes in the academic fields. All this came to light at a reunion for 1,200 kinder gathered in London in 1989, 50 years anniversary. And I quote, to say Kaddish for thousands upon thousands of parents who, with the strength of love, had sent their children away to live with the inner knowledge that they themselves would not. There were others who found families, Jewish or non-Jewish, but one reason or another left the families at the age of 14 when they had to go to work, but work earned insufficient money and had to be subsidized. The Refugees Committee in England created hostels for about 30 children each in different cities of England to house these children. My parents ran one of those hostels in Birmingham. I didn't stay with them because they worked there in the city. The city was bombed daily. The bombs luckily fell in the garden or in front of the house. No direct hit. When the bombing stopped 4 years later, I moved into the hostel and continued my education on scholarships. My parents had no money then. Their wealth, they thought, was in America, where they had sent their crates of all their valuables. What they didn't know was that someone forgot to pay the storage fees, and all was auctioned off before my mother could get here, and not a single item was ever recovered. In addition, they had lost most of their money. They had left most of their money behind as security for my father's sister, who had now been left in Danzig alone and in danger. She never made it to safety. The rest my parents had to spend just to live, since aliens in England were not allowed to work, at least for another couple of years. And after all, they had come to England for a 2 months visit only, with limited resources, since they were trying not to cause any suspicions with the custom officers that they may want to stay in England. In 1948-49, my family was united in New York. Eva had not seen the family for 10 years. I met my future husband coming over to the States. My first job was the United Nations. My father happily ended up at NYU. And my mother, who suffered the most, never complained. She still had her family, she would say. And that was all that mattered. I think that's enough. Oh, I want to thank you. I felt like being in my synagogue when you said, Hodadi. It felt so good. It was exactly the same nigun that he chose for tonight, and I do appreciate that. I got to get over there.
Yeah, that's right. Take your time.
We rise for Aleinu on 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Tara will lead us in the Kaddish in a moment. Before we do Kaddish, though, I just want to share, we know there's so much anti-Semitism in the world still, and I'm inclined to share with you some of the most recent examples of it and stories, but I'm going to forego that and just offer share one contemporary. I just read this a day ago. This is a story of hope, that descendants of Nazis have organized global marches against anti-Semitism, contemporary anti-Semitism. At a candlelight vigil for the Tree of Life Synagogue, this is just a little piece of it, Tree of Life Synagogue shooting victims last year after the gunman slaughtered 11 Jews in the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. German-born Claudia Kaisinger stood in solidarity with others voicing outrage over the massacre. As she took in the scene around her, she couldn't help but ask herself, what would have happened if the Germans, especially after Kristallnacht in 1938, had stood together in similar protest? She said, Kristallnacht was the door opener for all that happened during the Holocaust. What if we had stood together after that? And she inspired this movement in which descendants of Nazis have organized global marches against anti-Semitism. All these loved ones who we're remembering now hopefully can feel a little bit of more hope to know that descendants of Nazis, there are such descendants of Nazis.
If you hear the name of someone you've come to remember, please rise when you hear the name and remain standing. In the period of Shloshim, 30 days since their passing, Ruth Gale, Roberta Gunad, Erica Greenbaum, Mildred Jacobs, and Marvin Zale. And the Yortzites this week for Dorothy Adelman, Nathan Barshap, Minerva Druxerman, Harold Ehrlich, Beatrice Friedman, Grace Gold, Paula Harnick, Bernice Hirsch, Robert Kagan, Murray Kaplan, Munis Korshad, Margaret Klein, Esther Nafsides, Zoya Leveeva, Abraham Lulav, Israel Marmurek, Molly R. Rosenberg, Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, Samuel Schneider, Alice Shapiro, Anna Sussman, Anna Gluckstern of Vienna, and Heinrich Gluckstern of Vienna. Also, Yafa and Abraham Mulbaum. And of course, all of those who perished in Kristallnacht. Are there any other names omitted or mispronounced? Please offer them now as I scan the room. If it's your custom to rise for the mourner's Kaddish, please do so. We're on 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'rechu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony, peace, and healing on high bring that to all of us, to all Israel, va'al kol yoshvei tevel, to all humanity. We say one last time. Amen. You may be seated except for our dear President, Ron Epstein.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi Feldman. Welcome back, Tara. I hope Gavi's doing great. Thank you, Cantor Lappin, as always, for lifting us with your voice, and Shai Kedmi for your musical accompaniment, as always. And a huge thank you to our guest speaker, Ilse Kagan. Ilse, thank you so much for sharing your incredibly poignant story. As the decades go by, your willingness to give testimony for your eyewitness account is ever so more important as we as a people, vow to never forget, and to have you with us and to speak to us today, this evening is so very important. So thank you so much for sharing with us. As always, there's a lot going on here at Temple Beth-El. Tomorrow morning Torah study, 9:15 a.m., 10:30 a.m. morning Shabbat service. We have coming up on this Monday, Veterans Day, November 11th, Jewish Yoga School workshop at 9:30 a.m. Next Friday evening will be a musical Shabbat service. Not that it's not musical usually, because it is, but we have Nefesh Mountain with us, a group that combines bluegrass and Jewish music. As always, services begin at 7 p.m. And then Sunday, November 17th, Adult Ed continues here at Beth-El with our own Erica Groshin, who will be speaking on why bother with social action or tikkun olam, which is very much in keeping with our efforts here at Beth-El of social action. A couple of thank yous. Thank yous to our greeters, Phil Ross and Ebby Saraf, with a assist from Cindy Gold. Our bakers as well, Ronit Pearl, Maria Margoloff, Martha Hirsch, Roberta Lulov, Dana Sobieski, Donna Ganzer, Melanie Cooper, and Cheryl Silverstein. We have the most talented bakers anywhere in Great Neck, so come downstairs and join us for Kiddush. I will also say tomorrow morning at Shabbat morning service, we have a bat mitzvah. Congratulations, Mally Cooper. I'm going to ask Elaine Springer, trustee, to come up and offer the temple gift and present it to you this evening. So Elaine, if you'd come and join us. And then we're going to turn it back over to clergy to close us out. So before Elaine comes up, I just want to say to everyone, Shabbat Shalom. Have a terrific weekend. Right here?
Got it. I thought you weren't finished. Okay. Usually I do this on Saturday morning. We're doing it Friday night for a change. All right. All righty. Whoop. I had to rewrite my whole speech to change it for Friday night. Good evening, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. Mally, normally at this point, I would be congratulating you on a beautiful chanting of your Torah and Haftorah, including all the blessings and portions, along with leading us in various prayers. As a trustee of her temple's board, I have been given the honor, pleasure, and opportunity to wish you Mazel Tov and to present to you a couple of gifts, which are in the bag. They are a travel-size Chumash, a Kiddush cup from Sisterhood and Brotherhood, a letter that you wrote from your 6th grade retreat to yourself, a certificate from the Jewish National Fund. It's a tree planting certificate in Israel, and that's from the caring community, and a certificate of written proof that you are going to do what you're going to do tomorrow morning. May you also continue to play a part in the life of our temple community as you grow and continue learning. This is just the beginning of a Jewish journey. Again, Molly, wishing you all the best tomorrow morning. I know you're going to be fantastic because I recently eavesdropped on one of your rehearsals, so I know she's going to do good. And Mazel Tov to you and your family. And oh, by the way, Melanie and Molly, I like chocolate ice cream. Only they know what it means. Mazel Tov and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you. Kiddush and Motzi will be downstairs. We can rise for our closing song.
Oh, all right. Page. Can you announce the page?
It can be found on page 354.
Shir L'Shalom, in memory of Yitzchak Rabin, who was murdered this past week at Rabin Square in Tel Aviv. This was the song they were singing.
תנו לשמש לעלות, לבוקר להאיר, הזעקה שבתפילות אותנו לא תחזיר. מי אשר קבע נרו ובעפר נטמן, בחימר לא יהירו, לא יחזירו לכאן. איש אותנו לא ישיב, מבור תחתית אפל, כאן לא יועילו לו שירי הניצחון ולא שירי האל. על כן רק שירו שיר לשלום, אל תלחשו תפילה, מוטב תשירו שיר לשלום ביוצקה גדולה. על כן רק שירו שיר לשלום, אל תלחשו תפילה, מוטב תשירו שיר לשלום בצדקה גדולה. תנו לשמש לחדור מבעד לפרחים, אל תביטו לאחור, הביחו לו אחים. שאו עיניים בתקווה, לא דרך כוונות, שירו שיר לאהבה ולא למלחמות. אל תגידו לא יבוא, הביאו את היום, כי לא חלום הוא, ובכל הכיכרות הריעו לשלום. על כן רק שירו שיר לשלום, אל תלחשו תפילה, מוטב תשירו שיר לשלום בצעקה גדולה. על כן רק שירו שיר לשלום, אל תלחשו תפילה, מוטב תשירו שיר לשלום תצעקה גדולה.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. See you
Kedushin Motzi
downstairs.
downstairs.